Good morning, girls, young ladies, women. I am so happy to get a chance to connect with you this morning. I appreciate the opportunity to come and share with you all what I understand as leadership and empowerment. And I have written up plenty of things for you all to have a chance to do some self-reflection, do some internet scouting, everything you need to build your capacity and build your knowledge and experiences with things that will help you feel empowered to be the change you want to see. I'm so happy and honored to get a chance to work with COGAN and what you all are doing in advocacy for women and girls in your community. I'm Shemekka Ebony. I'm the founder of I Am Brilliant, as well as leading a firm that helps empower people in the areas of health equity, economic empowerment, civic engagement, and leadership development. And I want to make sure that I can give you all some insights, tips, and tools on what you may need. So, as you all are gathering, as you all are engaging with the Girls Summit, woo, congratulations to you all. As you all are going through the lessons, as you're looking at the resources, as you're hearing from other presenters, I pray that you find something that empowers you to remember who you are, to stand up and be strong in knowing that you matter, your voice matters, and what God has put inside of you to be transformational in this lifetime is important to us all. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your commitment to being a part of COGAN, and I look forward to continuing to connect with you. Peace and blessings, everyone. I'm Shemekka Ebony, and I can't wait. So, peace and blessings, everyone. I'm Shemekka Ebony. I am out of the United States. I reside in North Carolina, which is on the eastern border of the United States. And I have the honor and pleasure of meeting Monica when we were in Freetown about 2 years ago. I came there with my family. My husband's family is from Freetown. His aunt still lives there. Their family compound is there. And we had the pleasure and honor to come and visit your communities. And I was so grateful to meet the young girls at that time on the street when they were doing outreach. What an awesome and powerful moment that was to meet young girls just like yourself, being bold, audacious, feeling empowered to go out into the hedges and highways and fulfill what God has called us to do. Many of us have an opportunity when we're thinking about our leadership to think about how it impacts others. So, we're going to spend some time today talking about that as far as what leadership is and how it is already currently showing up and how you could be intentional in practically applying what we talk about today within your empowerment and your leadership journey. So, by show of hands, can you raise your hand if you already know that you are a leader? You self identify as a leader. Let me see. Just raise your hand for me if you think you are a leader or you know you are a leader. Yes. Woohoo. I want to see all these hands up. Everybody's head should be up. Absolutely. We are all called to do something powerful and great in God. God has given us gifts inside of us, many gifts, many talents, and it's up to us to activate them in how we transform the communities around us. So when we think about leadership, for those that self-identify as leaders in the room, I'll need your help with this part. I want you all to kind of help talk back to me what the leadership journey could look like. So when we think about a leader, what are some characteristics of a leader that you all know of or that has been something that you've modeled or that you've seen exampled around you? So anyone can feel free to speak out. You just need to speak out loud so everyone can hear. What is a leader? What are character traits of a leader? Now, come on, we had a lot of leaders in the room, so I know this is not going to be a hard one. Is there someone that would like to share what a leader is, what you think a leader is? When you speak, could you say your name and your response so I can, because I can't see all of you on the screen. So just give me your name and your response when you say it.
The leadership is someone who leads and others follow.
Yes, oh, awesome. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share?
The leadership is the A leadership is the ability to guide and inspire those groups.
Yes, absolutely. It is about inspiring. I love that. Anyone else want to lift up one something else? So what is another characteristic? Leaders are called to serve, they're called to inspire. When we think about our personal leadership journey, I like to always lift up the opportunity to lead from within. The definition of a leadership is about influence, how we are influencing those around us. Some of us may not necessarily self-identify as a leader, but there's so many areas in which your leadership manifests, whether you are a big sister, whether you are an auntie, whether you are a mother, whether you are a leader in your friend group. If people come to you to be guided, or they may come to you for advice. If someone is coming seeking your wisdom or guidance, or what you may hear like opinion or your point of view, those are attributes that feed into leadership. And it's also important that if we are put in those positions of leadership, that we hold that with integrity and honor. Because being a leader and being called to serve, another important component of that is the accountability part. So as leaders, we have this opportunity to be accountable. Uh, Accountable is defined as a person that takes accountability for their actions, is a person that's hold themselves accountable. So if you decide to commit, just like even coming to this session, you all being a part of COGAN, you all are accountable to show up. You are accountable to engage. These are expectations that someone else is holding for you to be a better version of you as you serve in your leadership journey. And so when we're thinking about leadership and empowerment, we look at this through the lens of what could make me feel more empowered in my leadership. And so I wanted to spend some time today by helping everyone identify where your leadership strengths are, and then how we can be empowered to allow that to give us what we need to move forward in what we've been called to do. So, one question I want to ask, and those of you that would like to volunteer the information, hopefully, I think by the end of the summit, you all should have an answer for this, even though everyone may not necessarily be able to answer all at once. But part of the work that I do with my organization, I Am Brilliant, is about um, helping people illuminate what God has called them to. So, illuminating your gifts, illuminating what you're passionate about. And I want to be able to dig deep into this question this morning. We asked this all around the globe of what makes you brilliant. And so when you're thinking about that this morning, what makes you brilliant? I'm asking you specifically, what is it about you, your passion, your skill, your gift, the thing that you feel drawn to, the thing that comes easiest for you? What is it that illuminates inside of you when someone calls upon that out of you? So I want to hear from the room. Oh, anyone want to share what makes you brilliant? So think about this in the lane of what you're passionate about, what you care for. We all are brilliant. There's something inside of all of us that motivates us, that people call upon. So I want to get an opportunity for you all to see who's illuminating their brilliance in the room. So who wants to share this morning what makes you brilliant? I know it's early. I know we had a unique start this morning, but listen, I am here for it. I want to know who you are. I want to know what makes you brilliant. I want to know what it is inside of you that makes you want to be involved in COGAN. And part of that is connecting what makes you brilliant to how you can be activated in the organization. So, who wants to share what makes you brilliant? You got it. Come on, don't be shy. Now, see, if I were there in person, every single one of you girls in this room would be sharing it. But I'm not going to pull any arms this morning, but I do want to give you the opportunity to come into the space, participate, let us know what's shining inside of you. It may be something that the girls around you had no idea that you had this skill or this talent or this gift. Well, this is a good time to share it with everyone today. So, what makes you brilliant? You got this. Don't be shy.
Doctors and
What'd you say?
my thoughts and ideas makes me brilliant.
What makes you brilliant?
My thoughts and ideas makes me brilliant.
Okay, your thoughts and ideas, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll give you an example too for me. So something that makes me brilliant is my ability to help other people. So a lot of people come to me for um I'm I'm what you would call a leadership coach. So they come to me to develop their leadership. So what makes me brilliant is my ability to help others find their brilliance as well as helping them strengthen their leadership as a leadership coach. Is there anyone else in the room that wants to lift up what makes them brilliant? Any bakers in the room? Anyone like to cook? I know I saw some really incredible desserts come out last year from the last session. Are any of those bakers in the room?
Yeah, they like fashion design.
Oh, I can't hear. I'm sorry.
We have bakers, we have fashion design, we have
Fashion design. Okay.
creation, in addition, also
Oh, I love it. Okay. All right. So when we think about what makes us brilliant, these are the things that if you couldn't find your thing quickly today, if it doesn't come to you firsthand, then take some time. If you journal, take some time to sit in that, like really unpack, pray about it, see what insights come to you about, and think about it through the lens of what is it that you're absolutely passionate about? What is it that um, it's a first response for you to get involved? And of course, that could be singing, that could be poetry, that could be baking, that could be fashion design, that could be a social. Do we have any social media influencers in the room? Just raise your hand if you really are into social media. Oh, we got okay. Yes. So in some cases, your passion could also lead to you generating income behind it. So for the bakers, your passion can fuel an opportunity for entrepreneurship, for you to have your own business and operate your own business. To my fashion designers, yes, absolutely. Keep designing, keep creating, put together your designs and allow the world to see what your gifting is. That's another aspect of you taking the lead in an industry and putting your creative energy out there in the world. So for even those that are on social media and do a lot of social media posting, you all know that creating content also generates revenue. So you can get paid for the content that you create. So when you think about even your leadership journey, there's areas of your leadership that could be income generating that could transform your life and the life of your family. So in these positions, sometimes they're appointed jobs, sometimes they're appointed by a community group you're connected to. It could be a leadership appointment given by a church leader or someone that's a mentor or a steward over you that positions you in a way that you have to be a leader to other people. And so when we think about that in the lens of what we can do, uh, I believe personally that we're all called to serve in some way. And as a servant leader, we're navigating how to not only get through what we've been called to do, but also how we can bring others along to their appointed place, to that you're shining your light, you're being a leader, you illuminating your brilliance is going to turn on the light and inspire someone around you. Even the girls around you, the young women around you, they're looking up to you, whether you know it or not, whether you want them to or not. The reality is, as we are human beings walking around on earth, there is someone that could very well be positioned to look up to. So, what are you displaying that will help lean into you being a better version of yourself when you think about your own leadership journey? So, I wanted to check in. I know we had a lot of leaders lift up um, that they're leading, knowing that I'll make this point. Your leadership could be in your school, your leadership could be in your community, your leadership could be also in your family. How leadership shows up for you is based on appointment. Like I shared, someone may tell you, you now have to lead this, you now have to teach this, you may have to uh, operate in your family as a leader. There may be chores or duties that you've been assigned to that you're held accountable to. So there's that word accountability again. So with leadership comes also accountability in how we are uh, walking out what we've been called to do. And so some of the things that we've been looking at, I don't know if everyone will have the opportunity to see it. I did email the some QR codes and some links so you all could get access to some resources around leadership. But when we think about empowered girls and stronger communities, I want to lift up this opportunity that when we talk about leadership and we also talk about what it means and feels to be empowered, which we'll be tapping into now, these are components of what'll make you a stronger, better individual, regardless of what you're called to do. And so when we look at empowered girls, stronger communities, when I first saw this as one of the focuses for leadership and empowerment, it made me want to self-reflect on what empowerment means and what it really means to be empowered. And so, by definition, empowerment is the authority or power given to someone to do something. You know, it's the process of becoming stronger and more confident. And COGAN is established to help you all feel empowered to be better versions of yourselves and your community, whether you're going off to university, whether you're going to school, uh, all of these opportunities that are given to you. We've wrapped it around through COGAN, an empowerment component to help you build your capacity and strengthen these muscles and how you feel that you're becoming stronger. So when you think about, I feel empowered, I want to take a moment to fill in the blank. I feel empowered when. So I want someone to share with us by that definition, and I'll read it. The authority or power given to someone to do something. Individuals are given empowerment to create their own dwellings, their own houses. So when I ask this question about fill in the blank, I feel empowered when, can you think of a time or an opportunity in which you felt empowered to do something, empowered to say something, empowered to go somewhere, and empowered to learn something new? Is there anyone that wants to share an experience of feeling empowered?
Yes, but the question is, yes, ma'am, can you come back again? The question
Oh, I couldn't hear. What'd you say?
is about the question. Can you
Oh,
come back
yes.
again?
Yes, a time when you felt empowered. So it's a fill in the blank question of I feel empowered when. So what are some things that are important to be in place for you to feel empowered? What is something that'll help you feel stronger? What's something that has happened or that will be important for you to feel more confident?
To have a sense of confidence, control, and
Okay, so I feel empowered when you have a sense of confidence. Is that correct? Did I hear that correctly? It's about you feel empowered when you have confidence. Okay, so here's a quick example we're going to do. So if empowerment means that you are helping people feel stronger and more confident, we're going to have a quick empowerment experience this morning. So I want you to look at the person beside you, smile at them, just show them that beautiful smile you have. And I want you to look at them and just repeat after me. You are brilliant. Look at the person beside you.
we are brilliant.
All right, here's the next one. I want you to look that person beside you in the eye. So if you looked at the person on your left the first time, look to the person on the right. If you don't have anybody on the right, then find someone in front or behind you. But this next thing I want you to tell the person beside you is important because I want you all to hear this. So this next thing is you are empowered to be great. So tell the person beside you, you are empowered to be great. All right, now did they say now neighbors that heard that, did that person say that with confidence? Do you feel empowered after they said that to you? Be honest. Yes. Okay. Now, if it's someone that didn't say that too confidently the first time, it's okay. You got a chance to say it again. But you are empowered to be great and you are brilliant. And if you need to write those affirmations down, then do that because this is something important that'll help you remember who you are when times get tough, when times are challenging, when things are hard. Now, I'm talking about leadership and empowerment, and I'm making it sound so wonderful. And the reality is, it's not always a beautiful journey because it means that you have to make decisions on behalf of other people that is going to impact someone outside of yourself. And so some of the things that I do as a leadership coach is support other leaders leading in their community. And some of the work that I've done in community, especially around leadership, and I think this would be relevant to your team, is around civic engagement. And so when I look at practical application of what empowerment and leadership looks like, it makes me think about the work around that we've done in civic engagement here in the United States around the Crown campaign with campaigning for the passing of the Crown Act. So these were everyday uh, men, women, and children in community that wanted to feel free to wear their hair however they wanted, to not be judged, to not be denied or discriminated against based on how they wore their hair in connection to their racial identity. And so that advocacy work began with people in communities stepping up to say, I'm being discriminated against and I don't like it. What can I do about it? And so myself and other leaders from across the country got behind a act that was written. It started out with the Human Rights Commission out of New York advocating for a resolution or a proclamation to be um, started about ending racial discrimination and hair discrimination so that people were forced to change their hairstyle or cover up their hair when they were applying for jobs or even going to school. They had to wear their hair a certain way, and the way the language was written in policy was very discriminatory to people of color and how their natural hair grew. And so, for example, we worked with a grandmother in Texas who had a 4-year-old grandson whom had very long hair. She had not cut his hair for as long as he had been living and had been braiding it up and that was the natural hairstyle that she wanted him to have. And within the pre-K school system, there were rules in Texas that said that boys couldn't have long hair and that they couldn't have hair that extended down um, past their ears. And so they isolated her grandson and suspended him from school. Oh,
I just blue doors with you. Don't go.
I'm sorry, is everything okay? I see y'all are frozen on that side. We may be having a technology challenge, so I'll continue talking about the case so that it'll be on the recording. But long story short, this grandmother needed some support on getting her grandson back into school, and the Crown Campaign wrapped our arms around her and helped her as a citizen in her community to fight against what this racial discrimination grooming policy was in the school and implement a fight that led to a district-wide grooming policy change that was more inclusive to boys and girls having their hair styled naturally. And so I lift this up as a point to encourage you all that if there is something that you want to change, if something is not fair, it's not equitable, it's something that you want to get behind civically and get involved in your community, then feel empowered to know that your voice matters being a young girl here. Your voice matters to be able to transform lives. And as we think about what makes us brilliant and how we can apply that to our families in our communities, then we have this opportunity to build up an opportunity for us to be better versions of ourselves by illuminating our brilliance in our leadership development. So in Texas, which is here in the United States, we had the opportunity to help a grandparent advocate for her child to be able to go to school, her grandchild to be able to go to school and continue getting an education without being discriminated against and without being isolated. And so I shared that example to say, this is a great opportunity for you all to understand that one person can make a difference. One person can make a change. And if we take what we know within ourselves, what we're called to do, then we have this powerful and amazing opportunity to be the change that we want to see. So when we think about our leadership journey, there'll be times when we don't feel like a leader. It doesn't feel good. It's not going to be beautiful. It may be hard. You may experience opposition or people coming against you in your leadership journey. And I just want to encourage you, and going back to your affirmation about empowerment, you are empowered to be the best version of yourself. And in those times when uh, your leadership journey may feel challenged, then, remembering these cores of who you are, what you're called to do, what makes you brilliant will all help you kind of get through those navigating those dark and challenging times. Monica will share some resources too with you on my social media. If there are YouTubers in the room, then there are learning playlists on Shemekka Ebony at YouTube that can help give you some kind of deeper learning, better guidance on whatever your challenges are. So it's about learning about leadership, understanding what it may be or feel like to experience leadership and opposition. So there's plenty of videos and resources that'll help support you navigating that journey. So I wanted to quickly show you an example. I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. So I think it's important as you all are considering how your leadership journey unfolds, that this is an example of what's possible. Okay. So this is my website. So this is where if you go to shemekkaebony.com, you'll be able to see this information, not only how to get up with me or how to connect with me, but there's a section here called resources and CBOR. CBOR is an example of Community Bill of Rights. So another thing that I did working in community was working with individuals that had been experiencing harms in their community, whether it was the health care community, whether it was in their civic engagement or civic leaderships. I want to share this community bill of rights because this is something when we talk about empowerment, this is a tool, a resource tool that can help empower you to be a transformational leader in your community by sharing the experience of how you want to be treated and how you want to show up in a space with your leadership journey. And so I wanted to share that these are digital resources. There's links to kind of go into a playlist about the Community Bill of Rights. There's also virtual teaching that kind of gives a in-depth teaching about Community Bill of Rights. And each one of these individuals that you see here are community leaders in their own community that wanted to come together and collaborate to create the change that didn't exist before we got together. So none of us had worked together before. None of us had known each other before. But for this shared reason of wanting to create a better future, we collaborated together with intention to create the Community Bill of Rights. And we designed the Community Bill of Rights in a way that other people in their community could take the Community Bill of Rights and adapt it to their community to help support whatever they're advocating for and whatever changes in policy or government strategy that is causing harm to transform that in a way that is more helpful and more equitable to you all as women and girls. Here are some other community engagement resources as well. These are resources that can help you when you're working with other organizations, or let's say you may do an internship somewhere, or maybe you're connected with a mentor that works with organizations. These are tools that you can have that can help support the work that you're doing within those organizations. So I wanted to make sure we got a chance to kind of give that overview and share this information with you so that you know what's available to support. And when it says here's the playlist. So I want to share too, because you all have an opportunity to see this in the link too. With this playlist, this is specifically everything Community Bill of Rights, but if you go over to the actual YouTube channel and go to playlist, there's going to be tons of videos on various topics that can help support you no matter where you are on your leadership and empowerment journey. So we have women's empowerment videos here, how to be successful. These are all short. So for those that like TikTok quick videos, this playlist here, how to be successful, are all um, shorts. So to be quick read, quick views that you can look to kind of build up your successful journey and thinking about what it takes. So that gives you skills and tools around time banking. That means how you manage your time, making sure that you maximize the moments that you have by being intentional and knowing how much time you have available before you commit. And I say that, and I think it's important to even lift this up here in this space when we think about time management. Uh, Yes, we have a lot of time that we can put into social media, family, friends, working, school. There's so many things that calls for our time, but if we don't establish an accountability measure for ourselves to know how much time we actually have, then we're limiting the opportunity for us to reach our full potential. And this comes into how many times have we waited to the last minute to maybe do an assignment? Or how many times have we avoided having to work on something that we weren't really connected to or engaged with, that we really didn't like, but we had to? We've all had those assignments before, whether it's in school, whether it's at home, a chore, or in community even. So when we think about being able to be successful at managing our time, that may mean starting a planner. If you don't have a calendar yet for this year, get you a calendar and take note Make sure you are writing down when you have appointments or when you need to study. If you know you have a project coming up and it's due in April, then use that calendar kind of mark with intention the times that you'll be able to engage in preparing for that assignment well before its due date so that you don't lose time with the enemy of procrastination, which you all will learn in life. There are people that actually have challenges around procrastinating to the last minute, and that is contributed to their own challenge of not being able to be accountable or having awareness to their time and how much time that they're taking on projects or initiatives. For those in the room that may have already experienced what you may hear as imposter syndrome, for those that may not have heard of that, imposter syndrome, I mean, it's not really a syndrome, but it's just that's what it's called. It's also called imposter phenomenon. But it's when you feel within yourself that you may not feel that you're qualified to be in the space, or you may not feel that you're qualified to be appointed to what you're doing. This voice, whether it's yours or someone around you that's very negative, will try to make you feel like you're not supposed to be where you are. Or you're not supposed to have what you have. And so these videos will help you kind of address that within yourself with that self-reflective stuff. Because again, leadership it's nice, yes, we lead other people, but leadership begins with us. Leading from within is so important when how we navigate and how we show up for other people. So I wanted to make sure I had the opportunity to share that with you so that you are aware of these resources that are available. And one other thing I'll lift up really quick. Hopefully I can get to it from here. Is I wanted to show you all you. Your organization is represented. Let me share that. Your organization is represented, and this is something you all can share with those around you. But I think it was so important for us to have this chance to lift up the work of what you all are doing. So in on Shemekka.com, we have a link here that shares about what you all are doing. This actually leads to a book that your fearless leader wrote that we have here for people to be able to purchase and grow with their pursuit. And then also here, we'll update this with a new logo for you all, but this link goes to your webpage on Facebook. So I want to let you know that people are seeing and experiencing what you all are doing and learning about you all around the globe because of the work that you all have been doing and the relationship partnership been able to have between us. So I'll pause really quick just to do a pulse check. And I know we're sensitive on time. Does anyone have any questions so far of the things that we've talked about with leadership and empowerment so far? Okay, no question? Okay. So since we have no questions, that sounds like we are in good hands to be able to start talking about statements and declarations. That's the fun part. So when we think about, so we've talked about leadership, we've talked about empowerment, I want to see, hear from the room and what can be our call to action? How can we activate our leadership? How can we apply that to the work that we do in COGAN? And this is an actual question that I'm going to ask you to talk to the person beside you about, and then we'll kind of come back in together collectively in a moment. So I'm going to start the clock at, yes, 3:45. So let's say within 2 to 3 minutes, I'm asking you to talk to the person beside you and share with them. And this is based on whatever makes you brilliant, whatever you're empowered to do. How can you apply your leadership within the organization. What is it that you can do? What is it that you can share? What skill set, what passion you can share with your leadership that you can give or share with the organization? So I give you, we got a few minutes. Um, talk to the person beside you, and then we'll do a check-in, and we'll come back. So just know that whoever you're talking to, one of you is going to be nominated to speak up and share what you all talked about and what you all are looking to do within the organization. So the question is, again, you're going to be talking to the person beside you, is how are you using your leadership and empowerment within COGAN? How can you use your leadership and empowerment within the organization? So take a few minutes, we'll pause and talk to the person beside you and answer that question.
How can you watch? Yes, ma'am. Can you come over?
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that a question for me?
So, go over the
Yes, the question that you're asking the person that you're talking to is how can you apply your leadership to the within the organization? So what is it that you're brilliant about? What are you passionate about that you can insert that into how the organization operates. So as the organization, if you are a good reader, can you read at an event? If you are a really good at planning, can you help Monica with the outline? Or are you good with getting the word out for stuff? Can you take flyers and take them to stores or in the community? So thinking about how you hold your leadership, what you feel empowered to do, and how we can apply that in the work of the community girls advocacy network. How can we apply this to the network? Is that clear?
question. Check in.
Okay, are you all ready to share?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who is there a
Deliver,
volunteer?
deliver high performance.
I can't hear, I'm sorry.
Deliver high performance.
You said deliver in high performance?
Take initiative.
Oh yes, take initiative. Okay, yes. In what areas? What I guess what are you good at leading? What's your brilliance? What is it that you we could you what talent or gift could we use that you offer that we could use in the network? So take an initiative, would that be that you could be called on, that we can count on you to take initiative in community to connect to girls or take initiative to lead classes? What could that look like for you?
So have creativity.
What'd you say?
Creativity.
You do activities?
guide and inspire.
Okay. Guide and inspire. Okay. Absolutely. We need a whole lot of that. Do you write?
Have the ability to focus on them.
Okay. Is there anyone else that wants to lift up? How 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 can what makes you brilliant be included into the network? How can we connect you with the network with your gifts, your skills, and your talents? Is there anyone else that wants to share?
The question, please.
Can't hear you. So this is something 'cause I'm sorry, I can't hear clearly when I want to be sensitive of time, but this is something that you all can be intentional of asking yourself. So this is not necessarily something you have to have an answer for today, but I want to encourage you to be thinking about that. How can you be intentional? Intentional is how can you be thoughtful about using what you're really good at and what you're passionate about to get involved, more involved with COGAN? How you can use your skills, whether it's recruiting other young girls, whether it is sharing with your neighbors, sharing with your friends and family, that this is a organizing group that comes together to empower women and girls. And so this is a space and there has been an environment created even with this summit that gives you what you need to be the better version of yourself so that when you're thinking about at the end of this summer, everybody's going to feel good. You're going to be excited. You've been with your friends. You've made some new friends. And it's going to be an opportunity to put in some work. And so I would challenge each of you that at the end of this conference, at the end of the speakers that you all have, if there is something that you've been able to identify that you're passionate about, that you believe in, that you want to get behind, talk to the facilitators and the staff of COGAN and share with them how you want to get more involved. How can you contribute in your leadership potential now to be a better version of yourself and grow with the organization? This is an opportunity for you to be empowered to share your voice. This is an opportunity to be empowered to share your voice to change community and being connected to the COGAN network. So think about that in reflection. I just want to kind of give a quick overview of what we've talked about. We kind of introduced with understanding leadership. We did that check-in about what makes you brilliant. We kind of looked at the definition of empowerment and how we've seen it show up, how we feel empowered, what can make us feel most empowered. And Monica will share with you all some more reflective questions that you all could ask yourself and respond to, or share with her these answers to these questions. And it's going to help build your capacity to think about your leadership potential now. You're not waiting until you get to the end of something. You're not waiting until you have a degree. Your leadership experience is valuable now. Your leadership experience, expertise is important to us now. And we don't want to miss that opportunity to lead where we are. And so I encourage you to get more involved with COGAN, get more involved as these events come up, as you're asked to tell your friends and family in the recruiting of other girls to come to events. Make sure you all are doing that. And I encourage you to keep illuminating. I have been honored to have the opportunity to kick off the session today around leadership empowerment. And I pray that I've shared something with you that will be meaningful and impactful to how you too go on about your lives to transform those communities around you as you illuminate your brilliance. Peace and blessings. And remember, I am brilliant, and you are too.